Alright, we got Saykoya playing Valder in the black versus MVAKM playing Zawan in the red. And this is ranked, this is post-patch, so we're going to see how well Valder plays in this situation. Because he got nerfed pretty heavily. A lot of people don't even consider him high tier anymore, let alone like the kind of broken state he was in before. He was in the basically undisputed #1 spot beforehand, and now obviously that is not the case anymore. And ooh, we're seeing Valder go cross map? Okay, so we're gonna see commanders meet against each other on this right hand side. Saykoya feeling very brave at the moment. And oh, I guess they can heal off of this village. Yep. Big heal coming in. And banking a little bit of money at the end of the turn. Maybe gonna save up for like a golem, or maybe even just something like an air trooper. We will see. No anti on this right hand side, so we could see a harpy coming out. And now he's just gonna contest over here, and ooh, Alder's just gonna straight up bully that one away. And in position for this sword it is covered by the other sword, so should be okay. And oh, I think this is when we're gonna start seeing commander versus commander begin to happen. MVAKM passing the mid threshold of the map though. Okay, ooh, that sword could die. No, just gonna go for Zawan.
Forward.
And pretty brave move there, but oh, gonna capture this village. Valder going to have plenty of health to work with, and yeah, this knight's just gonna decap. Nothing to contest on this right hand side. Let's take a quick look at the timer. They are playing ranked, so yeah, both playing their first turns pretty quick. Wow, double harpy coming out on the left hand side from MVAKM. And a thief coming out, interesting. I guess with Zawan, thief can be pretty good. You can go for a steal, throw up vines defensively. Very much punishes overextensions as well. Oh, there's no anti-air here. Harpy just gonna fly forwards, get some good damage in. Yeah, I think we're gonna see a save here for tier 2. And actually, earlier I was commenting that Saykoya was banking money for a turn, but it also might be the case that Saykoya just wants to build a lot of swords, and the natural side effect of that is you just have a bit of extra money at the end of each turn. I'm not seeing Golem come out. Interesting, because people really tend to favor Golem on Pulland in particular. I know Headland is a bit of a different one, but in the case of this map, you would tend to see a lot of Golems, and they're very good against Valder as well, but okay. Very big attack coming in here. Saykoya has to go for the counter attack, has to do damage this turn. You see these dogs get knocked down. Ooh. Valder building up some groove. Oh, that harpy doing so much damage. And the anti-air has not been nearby, so Saykoya is actually going to be in a great position. Like, there are mages slowly coming to the front, but they're taking quite some time. Ooh, that mage is going to go down. Yep. Get sniped from behind. So this harpy going to be pretty scary. And MVAKM actually, despite taking a not particularly amazing fight, they are up on economy by quite a significant amount now. These two villages over here going to be a big difference. But, ooh, there is a thief coming forwards. Valder's just going to go straight forward too. Walks next to the river tile. But there is a harpy to block. Oh, and there's no anti-air to kill this harpy, so... Oh. It's actually looking really good. Typically I might be like a bit worried, but it'd be okay. And yeah, we're just seeing a big swinging back and forth of economy. Both players are just chunking each other's villages. 158. Oh, and now Valder has tier 2. Okay. So MVAKM now has to suddenly respect all of the swords on the map because they're going to be able to do a ton of damage to anything they hit. And they aren't the older tier 2 version of Valder, but that's fine. Because 150 damage instead of 200 is still extremely powerful. That's still a high number. Putting it lightly. We're just gonna walk back. The old golem comes out. The first one of the game. 10 turns to reach that point, but finally. And yeah, now the swords can kind of just walk forwards and threaten. MVAKM has to do something here. Okay, they're gonna kind of overwhelm with harpies. So one of these harpies is gonna go down, but the mage should die in the counter. Yeah, Zawan's getting close to tier 2. So both players sitting on their, I guess you could call them nuclear options. And I will say MVAKM's done a good job of keeping the sword count a bit lower. It is frustrating having to trade better units for swords, but swords are what Valder is going to be using any moment now. Not this turn, apparently, but any moment there's going to be an explosion of sword damage coming forwards. Okay, suicide there. What are you going to see here? Oh, tier 2? Okay, that makes sense. Big damage. Ooh, isolates Valder as well. Big damage on that mage. Now, Valder is in a bit of a rough position. Has to deal with this dog before anything else. I don't think it's the end of the world, but ideally Valder needs to groove before any of these swords do anything. Okay, they're just gonna walk back and heal. Yeah, clears the dog. Valder can get out. Pop groove. Isn't gonna use groove. Oh, interesting. I would have thought this would be the turn to do it, but no. Just gonna hold on to it for another turn. Saykoya just being brave at this point. Ooh, Harpy goes forward. Gonna punish the lack of anti-air units on this side. Mage is a fresh build over there. Okay, Vine's just gonna keep doing more and more damage. Be very annoying. Just allows these units to kind of walk across and pick off any unit they feel like they can get. Oh no. Sword count gonna get lower. I really was afraid of this when Valder didn't groove last turn, because now there's no swords on this side. And he's just taking a ton of punishment. And yeah, he killed like one Vine last turn, but you know, there's a bunch more just gonna continue to press forwards. Okay, it actually has to just escape this turn. Oh, that's never a position you want to be in. Okay, Thief did get a steal though, so we're gonna see some of that go into play here. More villages getting knocked down. So Saykoya is doing a really good job on the economy. Really sticking into this one. But both players are doing well. Like, I don't think either player really is in a winning position right now. MVAKM, you know, lost some economy over this side, but now they can just push on this side. Ooh, big knight crit. That is exactly what you want to have happen. And this golem cannot kill the knight in return next turn. Something else has to. Oh, this might be the turn though. I think there's enough swords in position to do damage to things that Valder is going to pop it, and there we go.
From your grave.
Especially because there's sword crits on these vines. Okay. And yeah, like this sword's going to do a lot of damage, and yeah, 2 shots to spear. That is a scary amount of damage coming in there. A sword crit just going to go for that. Finds the harpy kill, and I was questioning how long Saykoya was holding onto this groove, because I think there were like a bunch of opportunities to get more damage in. Especially earlier, like losing a lot of fights early on, but this was a really nice turn. And Saykoya not pressing too hard. I think they're up on time. MVAKM starts this turn with 27.5 minutes. We're gonna see... Don't believe that's a night crit. Oh, actually it might have been. Just the forest tile has a lot of defense on it. Okay, suicides the swords. Just really wants to hurt that mage. Balloon comes out. Okay, that makes sense. You just want to make sure your opponent just can't anti-air your transport in one turn. And finally, the last of those vines goes down. Nicely done. And the steel. Ooh, that's big. Second thief coming out as well, actually, for Saykoya. And they're, whoa, they're massively up on time. 10 minutes ahead. So they can afford to play this kind of nasty playstyle where you just play defensively, you grab any village that your opponent pushes too far forwards. Ooh. Goes for the hit on the harpy? Okay, I guess just wants to allow more knights to be aggressive. There aren't any knights on this left hand side anymore, so is it about the archers more than anything? I don't know. The archers are just gonna swap sides for the moment, and I guess this is a nice composition for Zawan. Like, you get your vines up, you start pushing with archers behind it. Really good against lots of things. Even good against golems. Like, the archers don't do good damage to golems, but the chip will wear them down. And if you're throwing tier 2 vines at a golem, it will do quite a bit of damage, so that golem will then end up on like 50 health or something. Or 60 health, which is like a really frustrating number to be at with a golem. Okay, yeah. That just finishes off. Like, we're on the way to getting another tier 2 groove, but it's gonna be maybe like 2 or 3 more turns until that point. What can MVAKM do? I mean, I guess you just want to kind of swing around and try and get this strongholds. Because, yeah, you are now 2/3 of the way through the match. Ooh, suicides 1 unit. Archer crit. Ooh, yeah, and archers do not amazing damage, but we're seeing the results of the damage they can do here. Yeah. Golem crit gonna hit back, but that's not the end of the world. And yeah, spear comes in to finish off the job. Harpy goes down, drills a hole through. Nicely done. It just parks this knight here just to prevent units going through the village. Saykoya is just going to kind of fire back. We're going to see counterattacks coming in here. Sword crit comes in. Thief Steel comes back. We got another thief going to return next turn as well. So Saykoya down on total village count right now, but is just going to continue to press forwards.
Return to dust.
Ooh, you're going to leave your commander a little bit weak here, but should be okay. Alright, big mage hill comes in. Huge pile of swords behind all these chunky units. So, next Valder tier 2 is going to be terrifying. I really like the inclusion of the witch. Hex is such a nice, like, addition to any kind of attack. Particularly with units like swords, who are not the strongest. Oh!
Will claim you.
Tier 2 comes in, does a lot of damage. Really just wrecks this backline of mages. Oh, and yeah, just a lot of little hits coming in here. That one open on sides, technically. Don't know if that's going to be enough. Ooh, good hex. some nice damage in there. Lots of money this turn. Saykoya are going to be rolling in it. Gonna leave opportunities for a lot of things like mage heals come in. This golem come in and do a lot of damage. And is Valder gonna have groove this turn? I don't think so. Gonna see lots of small hits coming in across the board. Oh, nice pick off on that archer. I see this knight go down. And I think that puts Valder at tier 2 for next turn. It just walks the mage forward and heals. You do not want to give your opponent an opportunity to break through these lines. And because this archer over here got hexed, it's going to do actually like a significant amount of less damage to this mage. Yeah, like that would have killed if the archer had been full health. But the vine does the job, so well played there. Oh, that was a lot of damage for one vine. MVAKM also doing quite well on money. I think they have more of the map, but those thief steals returning at the right time really helps Saykoya. And Saykoya is also technically just banking a lot of money every turn, just because you're just throwing swords at your opponent. I don't know why you would go for the sword first, but maybe just wants to reposition. Okay, we're going to start seeing a lot of damage coming in here though. Archer goes down. I believe sword crit with the Valder tier 2 multiplier is actually going to one-shot a sword. Oh, but just goes for the mage's head. Alright, and this one goes for the damage, okay. More and more damage coming in. These swords do so much. It's a shame that there wasn't more of them in position to do work, but it is what it is, and yeah, just more heals coming in. Okay. Now, MVAKM's just like, well, I have to kind of almost panic mode defend this. They're being really aggressive on the south, like a lot of their armies there, so almost coming down to a base race, but ooh, they're actually going to come back on this side. Oh, big steal. There isn't a good punish on this thief, so thief can get out. Actually, that's a funny thing as well. Like sword with Valder Groove would have actually one-shot the thief, but now it can just escape on low health. Oh, another big steal. Saykoya getting a lot of value out of these thieves. Ooh, big mage heal that's going to allow this dragon to go down. And I think Saykoya is just a little bit too strong on the offensive front. Alright, you're going to go for the hit on the golem. Interesting, you're next to a river. Is there anything good that can suicide? No, there's nothing around that can suicide off this river tile. And even blocks this southern tile with the sword. So I think Valder is actually pretty safe right now. Just gonna come down to who can brawl better in this position. That was pretty safe up here. Oh, goes for the knight. I would have thought you would target the thief, but elects not to. I'm just gonna work back. He'll use almost all of the money. This thief's gonna go down next turn. Like nothing defending it. Someone in chat pointing out there is a big time disparity as well. Saykoya on 19 minutes, MVAKM on 7. So Saykoya doesn't even need to play aggressive at this point. They could just play defensive. As MVAKM looking. Good damage coming in. There's recaptures, but they're so far behind on time. 5 minutes left on the clock. Are they gonna get... They might get another tier 2 off before the end of the match, but the unit count is looking really low. Saykoya's just been trading a little bit better every time. And there's another groove coming out relatively soon. Because actually, even if MVAKM has been trading quite well on the unit count front, Saykoya has managed to build 4 extra swords just because of the way the groove works. Oh, a nice aggressive position there. They're going to get ready for the stronghold. Valder in position to just walk up and either hit it or groove and have a sword hit it. Just positioning this army down here on the defense, and it just builds a golem. It's just like, I'm going to skip a build, and this other barracks is not actually going to get into position in time. Good kill there. There's nothing to fill this spot though. Okay. I think that knight is moved into... Oh, it's not quite in crit range. Ooh. Unfortunate. This mage though I think is safe from anything that could hit it. Okay. Are we going to see some kind of like Valder flanks and kills the mage from behind? But I don't think anything can actually reach. So yeah, just a lot of defense coming in here. Not even going to attack Zawan. Putting a lot of units around the stronghold. And ooh, mage goes down. That's going to allow dragon to go across, get a kill. Even Valder here going to get a kill. So as long as Valder lives for another turn, going to have tier 2, going to be in range of strongholds. That's a ton of damage. Clear 2 sides pretty easily. And that doesn't 2-shot it anymore, I don't think. There was a time when Valder Groove did kind of wreck strongholds. But MVAKM realizes they're at time, and it's just like, I gotta throw in the towel. And Saykoya takes it. In a very well played, very long game as well, actually. And I think, yeah, Saykoya is just trading a bit better. Holding Groove in a position where I feel like didn't have to hold Groove as much, but waited until they got a good time to do it. Good value. MVAKM, I'm not entirely sure where they went wrong. I think it might have just been like they didn't quite have the right unit composition, or maybe Saykoya was just trading a bit better. Time pressure obviously gets to you as well. And it's really hard to go up against a commander like Valder who can just build a lot of stuff and choose through your vines, basically. But, I mean, there is a reason why Saykoya is like literally a world champion and won the last major tournament. And MVAKM, a good player, typically makes it to top 8. So maybe there is just like a bit of difference in terms of skill, but very fun game, very enjoyable. I had a good time watching it, and we're going to go into the next one.